This is the end of a nightmare. One that began with love, twisted into obsession, and ended with a severed head dumped in a river. In this final part, we take you into the courtroom where Timileyin Ajayi, the man who once claimed to love Salome Adaidu, now faces justice. Despite a public confession, he pleads not guilty. But the evidence tells another story. What happened next left a nation shaken. The scales of justice. Despite his detailed confession to the media, when Timileyin Ajayi was arraigned in the Nasarawa State High Court, he pleaded not guilty to culpable homicide. The charge, under Section 221 of the Penal Code of Northern Nigeria, carries a mandatory death sentence. The trial, which began in March 2025, was watched closely by a horrified public. The prosecution presented overwhelming evidence, including videos of the dismembered body and the weapons used, a cutlass and knives. They called on several witnesses, including police officers and Salome's uncle. The defense team's claim that Ajayi was unconscious during his confession was dismissed by the judge as baseless. The image of Ajayi praying in court became a haunting symbol of the case's duality. Was this genuine faith, or was it just the final act in a long-running performance? On June 26, 2025, Justice Simon Aboki delivered the verdict. He found Ajayi guilty, stating the evidence clearly showed he had intentionally caused Salome's death. Timileyin Ajayi was sentenced to death by hanging. The conviction brought a legal end to the case, but it left a permanent scar on a family and a nation. Salome Adaidu's murder ignited a firestorm of debate in Nigeria about violence against women and the danger of possessiveness curdling into deadly rage. Her family, forced to publicly dispute the killer's narrative while navigating their own grief, continues to demand justice and accountability. The case is a brutal reminder that the most dangerous threats can come dressed in the language of love. Timileyin Ajayi used words like reciprocity and compatibility to build a framework for an act of ultimate hatred. But the story of Salome Adaidu forces us to ask a harder question. What is the true price of an obsession that sees a human life as something to be owned, and who is ultimately forced to pay it? And what if someone had just walked away? If Salome had shared her full location that night, maybe she'd still be alive. If Ajayi had simply let heartbreak be heartbreak instead of turning it into a blade, he wouldn't be waiting to die in a cell. 2 lives are now destroyed, one buried in grief, one condemned to silence, all because pain was allowed to turn into rage. So to every man and woman out there, don't ignore red flags. Don't meet people in private if you're unsure. Share your plans. Let someone know. Protect yourself. Not just from strangers, but sometimes from the ones who say they love you. And if you are the one drowning in rejection, jealousy, or heartbreak, walk away. Feel the pain. Let it hurt. Then let it pass. Because killing someone doesn't bring peace. It just ends 2 futures. One in the grave. One behind bars. Don't let emotion become your weapon. Let it be your warning.